this, and I'm going to try as much as possible to see how I can ensure that one or two things from all of this. For today, I'm going to be trying to I'm going to try to first of all open them up. Let me show you how you can do it easily, and I will be taking us through the process of how I will be revamping it as we go on this week. Today is Wednesday, right? Okay, so I pray that this week will be a good week for us. So forget that I said I want to come live. Hi, my name is Ojurole Mojibola, and I am your Shoemaking Made Easy tutor. So today we are going to go right into this. Let me try to invite others to join us. Let me see. Let me quickly do that. Okay. So let me see if I can actually work on the orientation. I don't know if you can see. If you're watching me live, please let me know if you can see. So I don't really know. So I'm going to start with opening, removing heel, which is one of the most difficult parts. So like I said, we are going to start with this. Why can't you see? Please let me know if you can hear me or not. So we're going to start with opening, like I said. So you definitely need an alt gun. Definitely. That one, there's no shortcut to it. You definitely need one. Get an, what do they call it? Alt gun. So I am going to be directing it on this part of the design. Now let me try to hang it first and open it. So the first thing you want to do is to try to open. Now one thing I always vamp is, first of all, check the size that you have there. Check the size. What does that mean? It means you have to be sure of what kind of footwear. You understand? You want to be sure of what kind of shoelace rather that you can use for it. Yes, it's important. What kind of footwear, what kind of shoelace can I use? So for this one, for example, I'm going to actually try to put my shoelace in it for us to see. This is 40, 39. I think I need 40 again. Yes, 40. I think I need basically 40 and 41. So I'm going to now, your first assignment when you want to revamp like that is to first of all get a perfectly fit whatever size you are actually working with. Is important, so that by the time you actually want to go ahead and last, you will not be finding it difficult to know where exactly to position it or how it should look like. Now, one of the things that revamping footwear does for you is it helps you to be able to create footwear that perfectly fits. That's one thing that I've discovered. It helps you to produce footwear that are perfectly fit. So let me show us something. Let me show you something. Now, this one is not even entering at all. Now, can you see? And see, it's actually the shape. If you look at it, you find out that it's actually shape because but from all indication, it does not to enter. Can you see it? I'm trying to put it inside so that it will guide me when I want to finally. Can you see it? So it has a rope at the back. Of course, you can still follow all those lengths to know what to do to the back part. You understand? However, look at this. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't have anything to worry about when I want to last this one. All I will just do, thank God that it has buckle strap that can be adjusted, because that's another thing. It has buckle strap that can be adjusted. It's just to go ahead and adjust. At least they can adjust it in case it's not fitting them. But I find that the size 40 that I put inside is perfectly fitting it. So let's check out the back. The back does not want to come in. This one came out a bit more. It came out a bit more. So that could also be the reason. But at least I can front and just work with whatever length that I have here when I'm recreating it, since it's the same design they want. Now, some people will tell you they want a totally different design. It's fine, but it's important for you to check this particular part. If it, of course, all these ones, it's important that you check it to know what kind of shoe labs to use for them. Please always do this, so that by the time you're lasting and you're through, it will be easy for the person that owns it to not be like, oh, but let me show you something that I also discovered. Now look at this particular one. It's actually size 38. It's size 38. Now if I put size 40 inside it, this part is not entering properly. Let me try and I have one size 38. I think I have size 38 here. Let me put, because I find out that sometimes but their leg is wider. Okay, no, I want to put it inside this one. So you want to try this now. You can see that my 38 is perfectly sizing this. This is 38. Can you see this? So when you are lasting this one, you can, of course, trust the judgments and know that, okay, it's going to actually size it perfectly well. So please always check. It's very important. Always check. Now, for somebody like me, it's amazing that this particular size 38 that I have will size me. This my 38, it will size me. It's amazing. It will size me. It will size me. So please, by the time you do revamp like this, it helps you to also standardize your shoe last. That's something I find out, because by the time I put 38 inside 38 and it perfectly sized 38, I can on the average tell myself that, okay, this particular shoe last will work for some people that wear size 38, because the truth is that some people's leg are not as wide as this and they are wearing 38. It's slimmer. Why some people's leg are wider than this and they are still wearing 38. So please, I need you to really pay attention to that, because I remember that today somebody was telling me about creating a footwear that is not perfectly fit, and then what would she do or so like that. So please, I want you to pay attention to this. So one of those things that revamping footwear for people, it helps you to standardize your shoe last as well, because on the normal circumstances, you want to believe that, okay, if it's sizing the person, it will definitely, if your shoe last is entering and it's sizing well, is also okay. So you can see, imagine the price of this. $59.99. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see what I have right here. $59.99. That's how much she got it. So you can imagine if it's going to you are going to convert that to Nigerian naira. You can imagine, and you can see it peeling all over. If somebody pays me $59.99 to actually make heel for her, I can ascertain that it will not peel, because I'll make sure that I use the material that it will be durable enough for her. At least you understand that kind of a thing. So until we start opening it, you will start seeing comes to all of this. So let's now start. I said I want to start with the black. So now you are going to still use all of the socks linings, so you might have to remove and keep. You understand? As it is like this, you can keep it so that you use it as the soft lining, the socks lining. We call this socks lining. Socks as in SOCKS, then lining. That's what we call this one. So this is the cushion part. You see, most times they put this here just to protect, you know, the foot from the hardness of the insole. This insole has to be very, at the end of the day, it will not turn to something else. Now look at this. I have always talked about what I call shankless, and I'm sure some of us thought it was is a joke when I said, you know, you can use shankless to make all this amazing design. This is a shankless. It's shankless. This is not cardboard. This is not cardboard. It's shankless. Now look at the iron inside it. How do you remove this one without breaking the plastic? Because the shankless is plastic. So how do I go about that? Because you can see that I have a lot of them here. I have a lot of them. You understand? So you can imagine if I have to use my hand to start removing all of this. So what do? I told us, get it gone. Please get one. Especially if you know you want to be doing revamp for people, just get one. And I'm going to just go ahead and then just place it here. So I'm going to place it on this one for a while. By the time it's very hot, when I shake the heel, it will come out. It's come out. Please send me to bring out the pliers so that we can. And you have to be very careful. Don't forget that this is actually shankless insole. I call it shankless. It's made of plastic. So you have to be very careful. In short, this particular gun, you can use it to open all of this back. All this back, you can use it to open it if it's not opening easily. I'm going to be showing you different things you're going to be using to clean this thing and achieve a perfect look. So just join me as we go on this journey. So you have to be careful. I told you it's plastic. It can melt it because the degree is 480 degrees. You know, my own, I can see the degree. That's a meter that reads. That's a digital meter that reads it. So I'll keep putting it. I'll soon show you what the power station look like. So this one is just the major work that you need to do here. Yes, that's the major thing you need to do. So let me hang it right here quickly and check. Can you see that it's not removing yet? So we are still going to be there until it's so hot that it can remove easily. So when you are charging your customer for this kind of work, please ensure that you consider the efforts that this will require. So if you want to go into heel, please get this. I mean, when you want to revamp, you want to go into revamping heels for people, get one. You can see the way it's melting it. It's plastic. That's another disadvantage with this. Let me check again. See, it's still not moving yet. So I'm just doing this. You know, if I create a video for this, you will not understand how long it takes for it to finally come out. This, and you see me removing it. So sometimes it takes between 4 to 5 minutes to remove this. Okay, it's a heat gun. We call it a heat gun. It's heat gun. Yes. You can see it. If you look at the surface, you find out that it's actually very red. This is actually 480 degrees Celsius. It's 480. Although the one I use has a station. Can you see it? It has a station. Can you see 480 there? It has a station where I can see the temperature. So there are some that does not have, you know, that what do they call it? There are some of them that does not have the station, that it just come like this. You just plug and use. It's not the same thing with air dryer. It's not the same thing with air dryer. So I hope Ijele, I hope I have answered your question. I hope I pronounced your name perfectly well. Can you see the way it removed? Oh my God. Can you see the way it removed? Can you see it removing? Hey. So immediately, try as much as possible to use something to remove this one. Immediately. Immediately. You understand? Remove it immediately. So you can still return it back when you are through with your process. Can you see what it looks like? So you can still use the same process to remove all of this. See, can you see all the stones, all the nail that they have used to nail it before they finally brought it? If I'm correct, this particular one, I think it's about 35,000 naira. This particular one, as at the time it was bought, I think it's about 35,000 naira. Or am I correct? I hope I can remember very well, because I actually bought this online. I didn't buy it here. So, but I believe that you should be able to get all this particular, the one that does not have a station, probably about around 30,000 naira, 35. I am not so sure, please. I'm not so sure, please. But you can send me a WhatsApp message. I can help you to do some inquiries and just get back to you. So you can also use it to remove all these back parts. Like I said, just let it go around it. It makes it open up easily. So this one, I can hang it like this. As soon as I hang it, the temperature will start going down. Can you see it? Can you see the way it's removing? So it's now this pin. Please, can you get me that very small plier? Let me see if it will be able to remove this. Or give me that one too. So I'll try and see how I can use this, because those are the things that used to spoil all these heels. You can imagine what somebody, you can imagine this. It's not good enough. Not good enough. They are the ones that spoil all these shoes. And they are just adding it to it because they believe that it will help. It will help. But on the contrary, can you see? It's already spoiling the heel, the sole. Because as it is like this, I may not be able to use it again. All this bone, all the things they bought, they put there. Please let me to check the ones that have stone that we can just remove. All this nail, so that by the time we remove it, so there's no shortcut. We have to find a way of removing them all. So I have found out that for this one, when you hang it like this and you're not using it, the temperature will definitely go down by itself. So you don't have to worry about, oh, this and that. We are still going to remove some more. So especially the black. Since it's the black I want to remove. Does not. So all these ones, they will open easily without you stressing yourself. Now I'm going to be showing us something. Can you see it? Can you see it? Now this is one of the reasons when you are charging, make sure you charge them well, because I know some of us will be wondering. Now this one, at the point of opening it, it has stopped. It means I have to do a total replacement. If I did not plan to replace it before and I did not put it as part of the budget, you don't want to go and meet the customer and tell the person that so as I was trying to remove it, everything spoiled. You know, that kind of a thing. You can see this one. Some people can decide and say, I will use glue and hold it together. I don't like to do that kind of a job. The reason why this person brought this to me was just because I have revamped footwear for her before, and she loved the way they look. She loved the way they are very neat. This is actually coming from about how many hours journey from here? If I'm not making mistake, about 8 hours from here. The person that sent it to me is far away from me, 8 hours from here. You understand? So you can imagine that. So as it is like this, you can see what it looks like is here, and all of these are here. Another thing that I always suggest you do is that take pictures of the way the design look like, so that you don't forget. Take pictures. That is very important. Take pictures so that you not be wondering, oh, so how did it look like? How did they position this one? In short, what I have here, for example, as I'm removing it, I will label it. Let me show you what I mean. You can label it with your paper tape. You can label it with what do they call it? With your pen alone. Since the design are all the same, you can just decide to just label at least one of them. So when I remove all of this like this, don't forget that this is the right leg. So I can decide to come inside and put right there, or carry a paper tape and just tape them together this way, just for me to be able to know that this is the way they are arranged, in case I did not remember to snap them. Because I normally try as much as possible to see that at least I will not forget the way it looks like. So let me cut this, because since they want the same pattern, the same design on it, if it is a different design, I don't need their patterns. Well, as long as it's still the same design, I have to make sure that I keep them together. So this is this. So the sandal is actually for both what do they call it, siblings. I have about 2 pairs of it here. I think this is the second one for this one. The other one, is it smaller or longer? Please let me remove the nail under this thing. Let me remove the nail under it. This one and this one. This one and this one. See there. So I want to be sure. This is for this. That one is 40. Okay, we have another one here. Okay, this is also 40. So this is, I guess this is 38 or so. This is 38. This is 38. And this also is 38. Okay. So now let's go back to the second leg. Now another thing I want to also remind you is this. Now if you look at this one, now this front part, when you are trying to open it, you can also use this. So to make it open easily. So even if it is one or two we can open, we open, then I'll begin to show you the process that I use to clean them. So at this point also, in case this foamy part, you want to maintain the foamy part, you can also do this so that it will remove easily in case it's sticking to it. If you don't have this, you can use a burner. It's just that this part, using a burner for this part could be a lot, because it will just be burning everywhere. So you will just find out that it will remove easily without tearing that front foamy part, so you can still maintain and use that part. If you are trying to pull it and you find out that it's tearing off, hit it again, and then the adhesive on it we easily, you know, open, you know, and then remove from that surface. Can you see that? Have been able to maintain that particular fluffy part. So it means with this, I don't have to add any other thing to that part. You understand? So I will just come to the side here. Now, if you are not careful here, it will also still, you know, remove it. So I'll still do the same thing. Please, if you have any question, go ahead and ask your question. Don't forget to like this video, please. Can you see it removing easily? So you want to also be strategic when you are removing it. So this one. Now the amazing part about all of this is that you have to learn to also clean. Here, I actually clean with a solvent. Can you see what I have right here? I clean with a solvent. Of course, I'll be showing you the solvents I use to clean. So from what I have here, now I need you to know what they did. This is actually the shankless heel insole I've always talked about when you want to create your insole and then you don't have a heel, you know, or you don't know where to get shank or shank board. So if you get this, all you need to do is just go ahead and wrap. You use less of what did they call it? You use less of your adhesive, you use less of time, because immediately you buy like this, the only thing you do is you place your EVA foam here and you begin to wrap. Let me show us a sample. Yes, this is an example of the one that I sell. Can you see what it looks like? All you need to do is put this part, this particular part, you put it in front and then you begin to wrap just like they did here. Now let me show you the amazing thing they did to this that make it unique. Now after they have actually, you know, placed this here, they added another cardboard at the back. And what did that cardboard do? They were able to open all these compartments so that by the time they finally bottom, you know, it will sit properly well when you bottom. I need you to know that if you are going to be creating a very neat footwear, it's important that you actually consider this, especially if the design you're creating are straps, like they are majorly straps. Can you see that this one has a lot of strap? Let me bring this up for us to see. Can you see that this one has straps? So you can imagine if you just place the strap, you just place the strap beside it like this. When you bottom it, you'll find out that it's not closing properly at this side. It's not also closing properly at this side. Also this one, can you see the way it neatly closed? They were able to achieve that because there was actually a section here that was open. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. So you can see what we have here. So the essence of that cardboard is just to create those openings for when they are lacing it, it will just slot in and it will make bottoming neat and easy. I hope you get that. So please don't forget, it's not compulsory if you don't want to do that. Another thing you can do is after lacing, you can use your grinding machine or your beveling machine. You can bevel it before you even lace so that at least it will not be too thick by the time you are actually you know, harden your outer sole, like you are doing your final cementing. But please, if you are creating any design that has straps, the best way to create it to achieve a neat finish is to have this kind of opening at the back. That is the best way. So if you were creating just an ordinary flat sandal, all you need to do is by the time you use your insole cardboard, some people call it fiber, use your EVA foam, some people call that Mako. When you put them together like this, so let's assume this is the EVA foam, which is the Mako for flat sandals, please. So let's assume that this one outside here is now the insole cardboard. Some people call it fiber. So what you will do is, finish your upper, then place on the, before you wrap the upper, before you wrap the insole rather, place your shoelace on top of it and try to see where you are going to be positioning them. So when you know all those positions, what you do is just cut it off, cut those parts off. And the truth is that to achieve a good and a perfect finishing when it comes to shoemaking, it takes a lot of time. So learn to charge what you want to do for them. Learn to charge people for it. Because I find that you hear people say, our shoes are expensive, but they are always very neat. I think that is a very good, what did they call it? Commendation. It's a very good one. So please pay attention to that. So in case you need this, you don't want to grow through the rigors of using, what did they call it? Shank and insole cardboard. I will also open one that has insole cardboard so that you can see the difference between the two of them. So this one, you are just going to wrap straight. That's just the advantage of this one. You can send us a WhatsApp message if you need this. Yes, we have them in size 27 to size 42. So you can have this in size 47, in size 27. Even children own, we have the ones that are for children. That's why you have size 27, European size 27 to 42. So you can have them as 1 inch, 2 inch. You understand? You can have them as 3 inch as well. So you can see this. So let's open the second one before we proceed to go check out what do they call it look like. Those ones that are not having shank board, what they look like. We are just going to open a few. Maybe like that silver here and that and the two black. This one too. Look at this one that have the same color. Like this black, I think I'm just going to leave it for now. This one. So please, if you have any question, go ahead and let me know. Go ahead and ask rather. If you haven't liked this video, can you please do that? Let's check. That's not, remove. Like I said, this can take up to 3 to 4 minutes, or let me say 3 to 5 minutes. Which is still okay and perfect. Well, yes, you can actually do that. You can see the way it removes. You can use candle. I have tried candle before, but the only disadvantage that I see there is it tends to burn all of the, especially if what you are using is an insole cardboard. It makes everywhere look dark. It takes a while. You understand? Yes, you can use candle. I've seen people use candle, but it takes a lot of time. You understand? If you're going to be doing this, like you have proposed that, okay, I want to create a niche around revamping heel for people, then you must get this kind of gun, hot gun for it. Yes. Now then if you are going to use candle, then it means you have to also hold it. You understand? And that will take a longer time. When will you finish one before you go to another one? So that's the only issue I have with that. So you can use it, however, since it's not much, if you're not creating much. But if I collect this kind of this is almost like over 10 PS. If I say I want to use candle, I will not live there today. So, but yes, you can use candle. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can. So yes, you can. So please let me. This one to the back has plenty nail. I'll just look for another one that the insole is not. All of them, almost all of them are shankless, right? They are cardboards, okay? I will look for the one that is cardboard. I'm not so sure. So I hope I've answered you, Ijele. I hope I'm pronouncing your name very well. You didn't respond to that. So I'll just do that on this. Then use my, what did they call it? Is it pincher? I don't know what we call this. Is it pinches? Is it cutter? I think those people who use it for, what did they call it? Hearings, call it cutter also, because they can easily use it to cut. So, but, so, they say it's always also pinches, so that somebody will not ask me again. So all these things spoils the outer sole. Like I said, I'm going to show us the solvents I normally use, so just stay tuned. Because your cleaning process too is important in this. If you can't clean it well, then you are not ready. Because if you don't clean it properly, you will find out that when you bottom, it will open. Oh my goodness, God! I have Revamp Heel before. I cannot cry. I will finish it like this. I will bottom it. It will open. Like to my in front of me like this. Even if I deliver it, I'll be like, God, what is happening? What did I do wrong? Oh, okay. I'm glad that I have answered your question and I am pronouncing your name well. So I will be like, God, what am I going to do? Sometimes I'll have to apply all over again and again and again until, of course, not quite long now that we have shoe glue everywhere. Shoe glue is not something that I learned with. I did not learn with any shoe glue. It's now that they are not sending, a perfect, what did they call it to us? It used to happen to you. It's not funny at all. You just be wondering, how will I make shoe and the thing will not actually stay. It's now that they say, okay, shoe glue, you can say, okay, you will get glue and you try to use it to close it, which is not something one should get used to, because the glue, by the time one way or the other one part of it break like this, the whole shoe will remove. It will start opening from that part. So I learned that at least if you use the solvent to clean properly, all these ones, if I'm going to reuse it, I will sit down and clean it. But this one, I'm not cleaning it because the other one has cut now. It's just for me to place on another one and then bring her. So I don't have to clean all this one. In short, it's so much joy to me that I'm not even cleaning this one. Because the thing is a lot of work. I am saying it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. You will not be wondering what is happening. It's not funny, honestly. So this one too is also the same thing. It's the same thing with the other one. So we just need one of them, which I already, kept there. So of course I'll still keep it. I'm still going to use the buckle. Yes, the buckles are still intact. I'm still going to use them. I'll clean and use all these rhinestone. I have a rhinestone sticker that I'm going to be putting. And if I choose not to put even the rhinestone, so I can decide not to put. I can put on just one and leave the remaining one. Considering what I charge them, I do not think of their rhinestone because this thing is expensive as far as I'm concerned. It's expensive as far as I'm concerned. The one I bought it on AliExpress. And to me, as far as I'm concerned, it's expensive. Nobody should tell me otherwise. So the same thing I did earlier. Now you can see what we also have here. These are the things that you learn, when you revamp like this. You can see what we have here. You see what we have here. So this one too normally enhance the proper bonding of this surface, and also this one, you understand. So I normally use what we call Wadi. In place of this, you can get Wadi. You can get Wadi in the market. Wadi is sold by those people into sewing material. Those people who sell sewing material stuff like lining for clothes, for fabric generally, sewing material stuff. Just tell them you need Wadi. You can just get a soft one. Now see the one I normally use. You see what it looks like. So you can get something like this, and always, just in between like this. You understand? You can get some. This is actually Wadi, but a soft one. It's not very thick. Some people, I don't know whether this is what they call breast pad, because some people use it to form the breast pad or this design they wear now. I don't know anything about it, so don't ask me, but I know it's called Wadi. It's a kind of interface that they use when it comes to clothing. I don't know whether you get that. So you can see it here. So let's just apply the same principle on this and just open it. Oh, please don't have sleepless nights. Oh, I know that. What did they call it? You see that bonding part of the sole. It's worrisome. Trust me when I say that. When you create a footwear and it's not staying properly well, let me tell you, it is worrisome. Excuse me. It can make some, like, how it feels when you create a footwear and you're expecting your customer to wear it for like 6 months or 1 year. And you just receive a call that on their way out, they are wearing it for the first time and it has pulled off. It's not funny, honestly. It's not funny. But I have found out that, some of those things we just need to follow some little techniques. Now, when I'm creating a new footwear, for example, and I'm using my adhesive, let's say I'm using the normal contact cement like that V-track and so on. Oh, I am. I am. So I just try as much as possible. I try as much as possible to just first of all apply it first. I have had people talk about heat, and I'm experimenting with that now. I find out that yes, it works. So I first of all apply. You understand? But when I apply like that, sometimes I leave it overnight. Yes, I just leave it overnight. The following day, I'll come and apply again. So the following day, the one I applied initially will have stick to the surface, so much so that it's not something you can peel off. Of course, I will have made sure that I roughen the surfaces of the two surfaces for the insole where the upper is attached, and then the outer sole as well. So it will bond and stay there. So the following day I will apply a new one and just allow it to dry. Heat a little. Yes, heat a little. And then I will just go ahead and then hammer it. I think another challenge is that, that hammering process that we use to hammer our footwear sometimes, it's not effective. Because I made one footwear recently and I find out that all those I use hammer, I use this one to press it. I find out that the insole and the outer sole are not touching themselves. And I was thinking that it has bond perfectly well. They just wore that shoe once and they pull. So when they brought it to me, I opened it, I find out that, wow, they didn't touch themselves. Like the adhesive I added to the two surface did not touch themselves. Especially when it comes to all these chunky soles, you really need to be very careful. So I think the best bet sometimes is to find a way, just save up and get, the sole pressing machine. If it is a manual one, just get. You understand that kind of a thing, and it's why you are still hammering and hammering and hammering and a lot of that. So I think that's one process that I use when I'm fixing, my shoes for bottoming especially. I just apply twice. If it's during the day like this, I will just immediately I get to my workshop in the morning, I will apply. When I'm about to close, I will go ahead and then apply the second round, then just bottom it. And if it is in the evening, I will just apply before I leave the workshop. The following day, I'll come and reapply again, then heat it if I want to. So I believe that one too will help. But when it comes to revamp, if you don't clean it, if you like, use any kind of gum. If you like, follow any technique, it will still open. As long as it is this kind of revamp, it will open. You will sit down and clean it with patience. Patience. Patience is a virtue. You said? It's not supposed to be. To be what? I can't hear you now. Okay, it's not supposed to be. But we have people's name that is virtue now. So you can see that I'm trying as much as possible to just maintain it. So that with this, I don't have to look for another kind of EVA foam. I have found out that the EVA foams that we have here, they are not as fluffy as so many of these our heels that we revamp. I've tried to look out. I don't know if where you are, you normally, find these fluffy ones. The ones we have here, they are so dense and hard, if you ask me. They are hard. You can see what I have. So all of these too, you can use, what do they call it? The heat gun to remove all of this, or you just use your hand this way to remove them. But you have to be very careful too, because you should not stick to this part. So let me look out for another one that is, what do they call it? This is going to be a process, a long process, but I just want to show us how I open up so that somebody will not be asking, so how did you open it? How did you remove it? That's the reason for this. Let me check if there's any other one that has, you can imagine, all these ones are having shankless. They are shankless. Like, this one that I showed just earlier. Those are what are inside it. And it's very steady. It's not like, oh, it will break. See, they brought it. It has not break. It's still surviving. This one too is shankless. This one too is shankless. So before you go and be saying, I must wrap the insole. Okay. I think this one is not shankless. So this one too, I'm going to try as much as possible to put my, what did they call it? To see the size. You understand? At least even if I can't remember this size, I can come back and come and watch it again on YouTube just like any other person too. So is the truth now. Let me use 38 to see it. If I told you that 38 is big, can you see the way it looks like? Can you? Hi, madam. Hi, you're welcome. I think this one is 41. It's not 40. Auntie. Okay, this is 40. Can you see 40? Let me put 38. Can you see 38? I told you that 38 is big, and I have even found out that some of my customers that are wearing 38, their size, the width is 40. Can you see this one? It's size 38. And it's entering. And if I put my 42, it's still entering it successfully. Can you see it? Can you see it? So it means that we really need to be very careful when it comes to our revamp. So like now that I'm checking them, when I want to last, I'm not going to struggle with getting the perfect one. You understand? Getting the perfect one. Getting the perfect one. So I think we can go ahead and still hit this for us to see what it's gonna look like. So all this back, we are still going to use the design again. Now another thing that revamping does for you is help you to actually also have like some custom what did they call it, like a customized kind of designs and patterns. It makes you innovative also, because you see some things and you want to use your own innovation, when you're working on a totally new design. You can imagine all this sequence that was added to this one, and you still have the leather at the back and all of that. You can take your time loose to see what is actually there. And that, like this pattern now, in case you don't know how to draw it, you already have a template that you can actually use. Although as much as this is good, you also have to train yourself to know how to create patterns as well, because if you are looking at empowering other people and not just yourself, then it means you should know how to cut it. Because if you only give your student patterns and they don't know how to cut, you are not doing them any good. So let's dive into this one. Like I said, this one is actually shank board that is there. As in, removing it is magical. If it was candle I'm using, all this place will have become black. The whole place will turn to black. And I have used candle, I have used the normal burner. It's just that the advantage of this one is that it concentrates. Like this one, the opening is not wide. We have some that their opening is wider than this. Please note, like this tip is wider than what I have here. Some are wider. You understand? You can see that this one is straight. This one is majorly used by all those engineers when they want to remove maybe a particular panel or board from a particular electronic something or so. So I think the ones that we can actually get, I think some of our own is wider. The tip is not as tiny as this. But the advantage I have with this one is that I can concentrate on this part without burning the whole part, especially if it is a shank insole. Like you use shank board. Please let me know if you have any question. Yes, I'm going to try as much as possible so that it will not exceed 1 hour. Please remind me that I said I wanted to show us the solvents I used to clean. Even if I cannot clean here today, we have already almost spent 1 hour here. But I'll still show us at least a little. Let me check it now whether it has removed. Can you see it? Can you see it removing easily? Don't forget, remove this one also immediately. Remove it immediately, or else you will find it difficult to remove if it's dry, if it's cool. Can you see? We have, you see all this gum here? If you dare leave it there. If you dare leave it there. So can you see that this remaining part too, they are stitched again? Let me see, remove this seam ripper. So that's how they normally spoil all this outer sole. And they will still bring it and think, is it not just to change it? No, it's not just to change it. It's not just to change it, please. It's more than just changing it. So this is my seam ripper. I use it to lose things easily. So it will just help me to be able to open that place easily. Can you see that it's also here again? Can you see it again? Like this one now, probably I will still be able to manage it, except that they have locked all this one. So you can see this. Now, if you have been watching us for a while, please can you help me to answer Madam Ogechuku what I'm using to eat the shoe? I know that I've mentioned it severally in this video. So please, if you have been watching and you have been listening, can you please help us to answer the question? Can you please help us to answer? So for this one, I'm still going to do the same process I used for the other one. Can somebody help us to answer? If you are there and you can hear me, please answer for us. Yes, thank you. So, Madam Ogechuku, I hope you now know what I'm holding. Somebody just responded. I can see that Ijele just responded. Thank you. Thank you for following this through. Now you can see the way it's removing. So I want to maintain this fluffy front. However, if you find out that you tried it and you were not able to maintain that front part, please get a 2mm EV foam and put there. Please help me to pass one. We have one small hand. Get this. In case you are trying this one and when you were trying to pull it off, it caught or it tore, just get a 2mm EVA foam. Some call it 2mm Mako. So you just get it and place it there in place of the one that tore. This one too will serve the same purpose. It's just that for me, it's not as fluffy as this one, and that's why I always love to maintain it there. Most times I cannot keep this part. I have not been able to keep this part of it. That's why most times it just cut off, and at the end of the day I still cut out my 2mm EVA foam, and place there for the cushion and also to cover up, all those iron that is here. So you can see what I have here. Let me see the second one. I think I did check the back part for the second one, because that's another thing too. It's not just the front part, even the back part you have to check it. So we said size 40 is going in, size 38 is going in. So let me to pass the size 38. So let's say it went into it this way. Let me see the back. I hope it will not stress me when I want to position it. So you'll find out that the heel height for the shoelace is the same thing, with the heel that we have here. So it means that the height of this shoelace is what? Where is my measurement tape? Yeah, it's here. Let me check. Let me use inch. So let's say it's about 3 inch or 3.5 inch high. 3.5 inch high. That's what it means. That is the height. You can see it sitting properly well. If it's not the same height, it will not, curve and form into that shape like that. If it's lower than this one, it will not, fit in, that same way. So let me see what it looks like at the back. You understand? So you want to also check all those things so that you will know what to do. You can see the way it's doing here, as if it's sagging. So, and at this point, this one is staying well. So you want to bring it here and check. So it means that there are tendency that this part for that person's leg might be, a bit fatter or wider than the shoulders I have here. All those things are really very important. So we need to pay attention to them when you are revamping, so that you'll be able to know the little adjustments you need to make, for your customer. So you can see this, even without doing anything, it has already broken. You can see what they used to cover. See, they use one round object to cover. We can learn a lot from all of these things. Madam Ogechiku, you didn't respond. If you now know what I'm using to heat the shoe, you can see what they put there. So we too, we can deploy such. Just place it under what you are using as a cushion, which is our 2mm EVA foam. You understand? It's just to cover it, and so that they don't feel this strong iron that is here on the feet. You understand? So also, because the EVA foam they use here to cushion is really very light, and if you are not careful, over time the iron can imprint. Can you see that the iron is already trying to imprint on it? So this one is serving as a defense, so it looks more like leather. Yes, they just got a leather and attached to that part, just directly under this cushion. So those are the things we learn when we actually revamp. So we'll just allow this one to come out. If you have any question, please go ahead and ask, so that we can call it a day. So what I will do is, I will show us what I'm going to be using to clean. I'll go ahead and sit and clean them. Then I will now show us, in my next live session, hopefully tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday. It's Thursday. Tomorrow, maybe yes, it will be in the morning, because I have a class in the afternoon. So it will be in the morning. So can you tell me what you have learned from this live session? Have you learned anything? Can you please let us know what you have learned from this live session? Have you learned anything? Because I believe that's the most important thing. Have you learned anything? So you can see, this is the station there. The truth is that I cannot say that this is the time. This one has not removed, so we have to hit it more. I'm not sure of the time. I just wanted to open this, and I thought to just come live and show us. It wasn't like I want to, because even doing this now, if I'm the only one, I don't have to talk. I will have opened a lot more. So sometimes, you are just after also trying as much as possible to do it very fast and to deliver on time. Yes, please help me to get that what do they call that we used to clean. I think I should still have small quantity. I think I will have to get another one. Probably I will create a short video of where I am getting it, and where you can look out to get the same thing, in case you don't know where. I just hope I still have some. Yes. Wow, this is quite little. Just hold it for me, I'm coming. Let's check now. Can you see it? So let's use our seam ripper to open. I think our time is really fast spent. So let me quickly show us. Okay. I think I have a little quantity here for the cleaning, and I'll be showing us. Now, for example, those parts where we normally have challenges trying to bottom is this particular one. You understand? So the first thing I would suggest you do is still use your heat to first of all try to melt out the gum that was used there initially. I'm sure you will see what will happen now. Use it to melt it out, because the, what did they call it, the leather has already stick to some part of it already. So you want to first of all remove that. I just want to use this one as an example when it comes to the cleaning. Okay, thank you. Yes, you have learned how to use the hot gun to remove the iron swiftly. Thank you. Now, can you see it? Can you see what is happening here? Can you see it? I don't know if you can see what is happening. Those ones that stick to it initially, can you see them removing? So it's always better to do it this way. So if you still want to use your candle or your stove or burner to do all of this, you can still do that. So it's better to do all of this first. When you do this, then you go to the cleaning part. Even the ones on top of the surface of the outer sole too will remove. So this is not applicable to only heel. Any kind of revamp you want to do, it's important to pay attention to all of this. You know, the insole most times we will wrap it all over again, but the outer sole will still be having the previous, adhesive you use for the outer sole. It will still be there. So it's better to do this. Just take your time, and this is what we are charging for. So sometimes some people think, okay, what is it? So at this point, I can go ahead and then use my solvent to actually clean it. Now, I think I need a fabric. So now it's actually very transparent. I don't know. It's actually a transparent solvent. Can you see it? It's totally transparent. I think they popularly call this thinner. Where I stay, they call it thinner. You can actually also use, what did they call it? They call this thinner, basically. They use it to clean. So you can just put a little like this. Sometimes you have to, it's very volatile. So So I'm sure you begin to see the clear difference now. Can you see the difference between this side and this side? Can you see it? No, it's not shiner. Thin. When something is thin. Thin. THINNER. So you just keep wetting. Sometimes if it's really, really strong and it does not want to respond, I just soak it on it like this. And after sometimes I begin to use my screwdriver or get a scraper to scrape them off. But if you have used your burner to heat, you don't need plenty stress again. I'm just using this to show us. I'm even supposed to use the other also. Since I'm not using it again, this one again, it has already tore. All of this one too. Can you see it cleaning it? It will clean everything. And you have to be very careful because it can decolorize. Yes, you can see that it's turning this to black. So you have to be very careful. I hope, Ijele, you can hear me now. It's thinner. It's thinner. It's not thin. It's THIN. Can you see this? So let me show you the inner part. Can you see? Even when you touch it, to clean, you can't use sandpaper to clean. You can't use sandpaper to clean. If you mean clean, no. Clean. If you mean clean, no. Now another thing that you can use is the nail polish. Nail polish is always readily available around. I said nail polish, nail remover. I think there's one small container that female used to buy to clean their cutters. You know that white solvent, that transparent solvent. Yes, thinner, you are correct now. That we normally use to clean our cutters. You can also use it. It will work perfectly well, to remove this. Yes, at least, if not as effective as thinner, but it will work perfect. Thinner is not expensive. Please get one. Get some rather. It's not expensive. You can get as low as 1,000 naira. You can get as low as 1,500. So it will dissolve. Yes, okay. They say that's one for nail. It dissolves the cutters. You see all these ones here too. Can you see the difference? See the difference. These ones, when you touch it, it will be tacky. Like I don't mean tacky, sticky. It will be sticky. You see the way it's sticking to my hand. But this one, if you touch it, nothing. So when you apply, yes, nail remover, God bless you. So this one that is here now, if you now use your raw sandpaper to roughen it and apply adhesive, hey, it will bond very well. You understand? So I think that's basically, what this one is all about. I think is the other one I should have used. In short, you can even use it to clean all of these parts. All this one that is very dirty. I'll just add a little and use it to clean. And you see it looking perfectly clean and fine. Because if you say you revamp a shoe and it's not clean, can you see the difference between this place and this place? Let me move to this side for you to now see again. When I revamp shoe, I want it to be looking like. So, can you see what it looks like? I'm glad you learned a lot. So you can see what I have here. You can see the way it's looking very clean. So you can see all these red parts. You can just get something like a chisel or a blade in case you don't want to use the gun that I'm using, for example. It's just that it makes you do a lot of work. That's the only thing. It will remove it, but it makes one do a lot of work. That's what I find out. It will remove it. You can see I'm using a chisel. So it's removing it. You can just get a small chisel, or you can just use your utility knife. It has blade. although you have to be very careful. This, I'm applying a lot of force to make it happen, and you can't imagine doing this all day, and at night, you know, you cannot sleep because the whole body is paining somebody. So that's just the so as it is like this, let's say I want to now clean it. So I'm just trying to show us, in case you did not use the hot gun, for example, I'm still going to soak it again and then try to place it there, and start cleaning. It will also clean, you understand? It will also clean. Can you see it cleaning? So it's just that this one, you need more energy, if you ask me, to do this than the one that I did with the gun. You understand? So you can see what I have. So when you do all of this, there's no way you will apply your adhesive and it will not work. I think by the time I want to bottom, I will show us what I normally use, or some other solvent that I add to my adhesive to enhance proper bonding of the surface. Yes, I will show us all of that when we want to bond, this one. So you can imagine, I have already cleaned all of those parts. So it's just to focus on this other part. So you can see what it looks like. It will not be sticky. It will not have any, you can see what it looks like. So the thinner does a very good work when it comes to cleaning of our sole. So make sure you use it each time you want to create your heel, or probably you are revamping an old, shoe for somebody and you want to work on the outer sole as well as the inner part, you understand it. So make sure you clean this sole. It's very important. Like I said, this one now, I'm wrapping a new one all around this side. I'm also wrapping a new leather. So the only thing I need to do when I finish all of the wrapping is just to make sure that at least I bevel any kind of, what did they call it that we have here? A kind of pleat that is at the back. And when I bring it to this one, I'm just using this as an example. Don't forget the square shape. I'm just using it to show something. If I place it on top of it, it will adhere properly well. So I believe you have learned a lot with this, and with you now, I'm sure you can easily open and also clean. Then in my next, maybe probably it could be a tutorial or live session. I'm looking at it being a live session though, so that we can really enjoy it and you can be able to ask me questions while I'm doing it. Tomorrow, yes, by God's grace, but probably in the morning. I think today's own too was in the morning. Now I think we just entered into noon while we're on it. Thank you, Madam Ogechuku. Thank you so much. Ijele as well, thank you for joining my live session. All others that did not even say anything, thank you also for joining. I'm still your Shoemaking Made Easy tutor, Odurule Mwejibola. You can actually send me a WhatsApp message to be able to access this. Yes, on my YouTube channel, you will see, our number or whatever. You can even go to YouTube, Facebook at Jibbyfemforte, Instagram at Jibbyfemforte, and send us a message. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I am going to see you in my next tutorial or live session. Okay, have a wonderful afternoon. Bye.